everybody. Welcome to the Omaha Beef Coaches Show.
And when you're playing indoor football, that timing is everything.
Now we got some things to talk about.
It's really excited with the partnership with Mike and the entire staff down here at Let It Fly.
Right? And it's something he's got to see.
You're on.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to downtown Omaha. Let It Fly. One more time, we got a bonus show. It's playoff. It's championship edition of the Omaha Beef Coaches Show. Todd Walker, there's Jason Unger, the head coach. This week, Brandon Negron will be with us shortly to talk about the playoffs. Did you go? Did you enjoy the game?
Championship.
Yeah, championship game.
Yeah, we had a good time. We always have a good time on the broadcast. If you're looking for an entertaining way to spend 4 hours, maybe pull that up on YouTube and watch it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. People will let you know. I have found out.
Yeah.
But hey, good game the other night. Two good games in the National Arena League semifinals. They both went down to the fourth quarter. Omaha, Colorado, if that's what we're here to talk about. Omaha playing Colorado for the third time this season. Omaha's never lost to Colorado in 2 years, 5-0 now after that. But one thing that has occurred is they've mostly been competitive. And once again, Colorado is leading going into quarter number 4.
Yeah.
And Omaha had to play a 4-quarter game and put Colorado away. We're going to go through this game, but as far as playoff games go, this was as good of a game as anybody could want. We saw, if you like offense, definitely saw offense. Defense came up when needed. It was finally a defensive stop that was needed.
Yeah.
But both quarterbacks played a lights-out performance, and we saw plays. Boy, did we see plays on both teams. Again, especially on offense. We'll talk about that. But the yards, oh my goodness. And, I mean, let's be honest. Story of the game, player of the week offensively for the postseason. Tommy Armstrong makes his return as a starting quarterback for Omaha. He's never lost as a starter.
No.
Was behind for a lot of this game, but it was back and forth. I'm not sure how many lead changes we had. I was going to look that up. 7. Glad you did your research.
Yeah.
But some lights-out performance by the veteran quarterback.
Unbelievable. I mean, really, Todd, it was our first real shootout of the season, I feel like. I mean, the Beef have scored a lot of points this season in different games, but we've never had a back-and-forth offensive shootout like we did on Saturday night. Really the first time this season.
We know that there's two things head coach is going to want to talk about. He's going to want to talk about the offense. We saw 71 points put up, 1 touchdown by the defense, but 71 points, likes that.
Yes.
A W, likes that.
Of course.
Giving up 50 points, and obviously they got a lot of possessions because you scored a lot, but it took a stop. We didn't see the first stop on fourth down until the fourth quarter.
Right.
After Colorado goes 4 for 4 on fourth down throughout the game. Not even easy fourth down.
No.
We're talking like a 4th and 18. We're talking about, converting touchdowns, throwing guys into walls. I mean, we saw some plays. We're going to go through the highlights here in a little bit. But,
for sure.
They converted. On the other side of the ball, Omaha never saw a fourth down in the game.
No, never did get to fourth down. And I think you talked about it during the broadcast. I think what we're seeing with Tommy at the helm, those explosive plays, and 35 total plays for the Beef in this game, and you score 71 points. I mean, that shows you how explosive this offense can be when Tommy's in the shotgun.
Omaha only runs 4 plays on offense in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But the end result, as we talked about, a lot of points on the board. But if you're familiar with indoor, and when you're talking to the stats in indoor, how about the line on Tommy Armstrong? 12 for 14 passing for 178 yards, 6 touchdowns, right? And then on the ground, 8 carries for 75 more yards, another touchdown. Long pass of 37 yards, long run, of course the one at the end that really sealed the deal for 41 yards.
Yeah.
And that's a play we'll talk to Coach about, but basically a naked bootleg. He faked the handoff, and for whatever reason, everybody bit.
Right.
Tommy brought back the other way and ran the length of the field.
Yeah, that was a great play call. You could tell that everything synced up on that play. Tommy had a wide open lane down the left sideline there in front of the beef bench. I think one guy may have got a hand on him, but I think he needed a game, to kind of knock off the rust. And then, boy, this week, he looked like the guy that's led him to 2 championships.
Let's not forget, even though he did not come on the field, Lorenzo Brown,
Yeah.
veteran quarterback. You talk about how much experience there is at the quarterback position just on that bench.
Crazy.
How many rings there are on the bench, how much success there is on
Yeah.
the bench between those two. And, we saw them collaborating during the game. We'll talk with Coach when he comes up here to confirm
Yeah.
that, but I know, we saw that, Lorenzo Brown's right in the middle of that, relaying what he sees as well. And we talked about it. Those are 2 quarterbacks that played together. Ironically, is the other direction, as Tommy
Yeah.
was sitting
Yeah.
behind Lorenzo up in Sioux
Yeah.
Falls back in the IFL. So there's a lot of experience in a system that they both know very, very well.
Absolutely.
And you have all those eyeballs out there sharing what they see. That's
Yeah.
just that's a huge advantage for Omaha, and it paid off in the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah, you brought it up. We saw Zoe with the play card, every time the Beef were on offense, and he was collaborating with Coach Negron. Tommy would go to the sidelines. He would talk to Tommy. Hey, what'd you see? What's going to work? What do we want to do in the next drive? So, a consummate professional.
2 teams in the National Arena League playoffs that came in with 1 loss. Beaumont, their 1 loss was to the Columbus Lions, so they had their shot at the revenge tour in the semifinal round. They were successful, defeating Columbus at home. Omaha's 1 loss, of course, is to Beaumont, so they're going to have their chance in the revenge tour. It'll be in the championship game. It is going to be on, they decided, right, Monday night at 7 o'clock kickoff is what I've been told. That is final now. That is confirmed. And it'll be in Beaumont, Texas.
What they're doing is they're following the NCAA National Championship formula there.
Well thought out.
Monday night game.
What could go, that's well thought out.
Yeah,
I'm guessing that'll work out. We're expecting a huge crowd down there as they kick off for the National Arena League Championship. It's a first-year Beaumont team that has, put themselves in position to host a championship game. We'll be talking about this obviously during the game down there, but you talk about polar opposites of teams. You got a team that first year, they've played 9 games total. Right. And then you got a team in Omaha that's the longest running indoor football team in the country, year number 26. They've made the playoffs 20 times. Right. They've won, obviously, 3 of the last 4 championships, looking for 4 or 5. But it doesn't matter. It comes down to 1 game, and the winner gets that beautiful National Arena League trophy.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, and we'll talk with Coach Negron when he's up here. Everything's kind of coming full circle for him. His first game was that April 13th matchup. Again, came out on the short end of that one. We don't let him forget about that. You don't let him forget about that. So we're going to talk with him, and 2 months later, you're back in the same spot with a chance to erase those bad memories.
You talk about the redemption, it comes full circle for everybody. But, and, of course, the bigger storylines, there's a lot of people that are looking for that 3 championships in a row, second in the National Arena League, one in the old CIF that they shut down at the end of that. But, obviously, Tommy, healthy, had surgery. Let's not forget, that's why he didn't originally start the season here. But, there's a lot on the line. There's a legacy. Obviously, the win streak got interrupted a little bit, but redemption, finishing the job, keeping the standard for Omaha, that's what they're looking forward to. A chance to do that 7 nights from tonight.
Yeah, it seems like everything's kind of fallen into place. Coach Negron has implemented his system. He's got the quarterback that he wants to run it. The defense has shown prior to the last 2 games, really, that they're the best in the league. There's some things they're going to want to clean up, obviously, going into Saturday. We'll talk to Coach, or to Monday. We'll talk to Coach when he comes up about that. But you have to feel pretty good if you're the Omaha Beef, coming off of scoring 71 points on Saturday, heading into the championship game on Monday.
We're at Let It Fly Sports Bar, where we've been all season long, Monday nights of upcoming games. This will be the last one for this year. Looks like hopefully we'll be back here next year. Beautiful facility, 10th and Capitol Street, downtown Omaha. If you are in the neighborhood, come by. We'll be here till 7 o'clock. And when we come back, lay out the rest of the show for you. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the highlights for that Omaha, Colorado game. And then after that, we'll bring the head coach, Brandon Negron, up here to talk about, obviously, that game. A lot to talk about. We know, though, he's on to the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Focused on that championship game a week from tonight, Monday Night Football in Texas, Omaha, and Beaumont for the 2025 National Arena League title. Going to take a quick time out, come back, share those highlights. There's a lot of them. A lot of them are both teams. I mean, it was an impressive game. Can't say that enough. Some of the athletes we saw in that game and some of the plays we saw made. When we come back with this quick time out, Omaha Beef Coaches Show live from Let It Fly.
Everybody wants to share it with you. So hey, take a picture. 1, 2, 3, repeat after me. I wanna live my life and live it fancy free. And if we walk that line, we were born to shine. Okay, to start your engine, put your hand in mine. I wanna see you smile at me so I can get to know ya. Hey, so many things I wanna finally get to show ya. And every day is not the same as every day before it. And life can keep on coming, baby, let's enjoy the moment. Hey, take a picture. Hey, take a picture. Everybody wants to share it with you. So hey, take a picture. Everybody wants to share it with you. So hey, take a picture. Take a picture. Take a picture. Hey, take a picture. Hey, take a picture. Everybody wants to share it with you. So hey, take a picture. 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 Everybody wants to share it with you. So hey, take a picture.
Welcome back, Omaha Beef Coaches Show. Let It Fly Sports Bar downtown Omaha, where we've been all year. Great facility down here. Todd Walker is Jason Under. Coach will be with us just in a moment. Let It Fly. That's appropriate for these highlights.
Wow.
We'll say they sponsor them here tonight. As Jason takes you through them. Oh my goodness. I think I can take the next 20 minutes off. I know there are a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see you here in about a half an hour.
I'll catch you later. Let them roll.
And we're going to start, ironically, we're going to start with the defense. We have to get the weekly Jay Sean Washington tip pass at the line of scrimmage. I mean, we have one of those every week, and I think his partner on the other side, DeAnthony Hall Steele, gets one here too. So they always do a good job of getting their hands up into the passing lanes, and they had a bunch of chances considering that Colorado attempted 45 passes in this one. Chris Perry coming up with a tackle on a short pass here in the first half. He had to play a key role in the secondary. Marcus Gray out this week, so Chris Perry steps in and did the job. We got a group tackle there. Let's see who gets up off the bottom of that. Jay Sean again, getting his hands on the quarterback. Yeah, there's Rock getting some pressure on the quarterback. He was in the backfield a lot. I think he had 7 tackles on the night, so Rock playing a big role defensively for the Beef, as he always does. Colorado trying to run the ball here. I think that's probably Newbold getting the carry, and the Beef were ready for him as they gang tackle him for a short gain there in the second half. Let's see what we've got coming up here. We've got a short pass over the middle. Terrence Jackson, the NAL Defensive Player of the Week, coming up with the stop there, and then we're going to cap it with the pick right here. Pick 6. Essentially, the game was over at that point, but it essentially did put the icing on the cake for the Beef right there, scoring their defensive touchdown. So
impressive performance, though, by Andre Saley from Colorado.
Yeah.
25 of 45, 1 interception, 251 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's going to be a win most nights.
Absolutely.
And then the receiving, I don't think we saw the touchdown they gave up because it's a highlight for Colorado. But if you get a chance, go check out Steven Newbold. I mean, he makes a catch. I know it's still haunting Brandon DeGrone because it's on 4th down and long, but he goes in.
One of the best catches you'll see at any level.
Wall does not
football.
move, as we know, and amazing catch. Hats off to a lot of the effort we saw there. But Omaha, it's Omaha Coaches Show. We got some Omaha highlights. On the other side of the
Let's
ball.
see the
At least
offensive
one.
highlights.
71 points, there's got to be a couple offensive.
We've got 11 offensive highlights coming up here, Todd. The first one, we're going to look at Moose going up high to catch this pass. Actually, this one's over the middle. I thought it was his touchdown. We may get to that a little bit later, but they find Moose over the middle. He works that intermediate short
Impressive his
passing game
development
so
over
well.
2 seasons coming out of open
Very
trial.
impressive.
Out Concordia.
Very impressive. Tommy's going to do some work with his legs here before he gets put out of bounds after an 11-yard gain in the first half. You mentioned he had 74 yards rushing in this one. This was an unbelievable pass and catch. There's Moose's touchdown catch in the end zone, going up over the top of a defender to bring that down. That was like a 60-yard throw when you consider where Tommy was when he threw that pass. Unbelievable touchdown there. Here's another one over the middle. That's his good buddy Jordan Barton making that catch. And how about this? We love this on the broadcast. I mean, a man that big, should he really be able to do that? I mean,
I wouldn't want to be under him.
that's crazy. That's crazy. And now here we talked a little bit about Tommy's touchdown run. You're not going to be able to take him down by grabbing the top of his shoulder pads there.
Not legally.
He was in the end zone, 40-yard touchdown rush. This is Conliffe, the weapon, in the red zone coming up with the touchdown catch. And here's one of our favorite guys. I know Coach Negrone loves David Ross.
Out of the tight end position.
Uh-huh.
Not running back.
Not running
I
back.
got tons of asked about that, too. I'm not going to the arena anymore.
Oh, boy. You catch a lot
did.
of grief.
Yeah.
Tobias with one of his 3 touchdown runs right there. Tommy going back to the air. That was a great pass to Conliffe. Working that back shoulder, deep post corner route, touchdown, and then Tobias banging his way in. 3 guys try to take him down, but he still finds his way into the end zone. He had a big game, 11 carries, 3 of them for touchdowns. Really, for Coach, and we'll talk to him, I mean, it felt like whatever he called was probably going to result in either a big play or a touchdown on Saturday. You get in those grooves offensively where it feels like you can just pretty much dial up anything and make it work.
Well, I think you get a lot of eyeballs on the field of what they see, especially on the offensive side. We talked about all that quarterback experience back there. We'll talk about with the coach when he comes on here about what that process is like.
Yeah.
With all that assistance out there, I know he'll touch on that. I talked with him earlier about how that went down, but you see just that extra little, it's that intangible, right, where there's that little extra step, that little extra speed, that little extra decision making that we expect that from Tommy. Obviously, he's fresh as well.
Yeah.
He hasn't, put 8 games under his belt already, so he's ready to go. And again, bottom line, you want to be playing your best ball at the end of the season. I mean, we've seen years where, we aren't, or the team is not.
Right.
And then, you're not quite as excited going into that final game. Doesn't mean you're not out of it, but I'd have to believe, for the most part, obviously defensively they gave up a little more than they wanted to, but it's a very talented team. Coach has to like his chances going into Monday night.
Absolutely, because you have a feeling, even though Beaumont is a team, who's scoring almost 50 points a game, you have to feel, if you're Coach Negrone, Coach Loftus, that you're going to be able to at least slow them down a little bit more than maybe you were able to slow Colorado down. And if you do that, you have to feel like you're going to be able to score enough points to get the win.
Definitely 2 different teams. I mean, that's been over 2 months ago since those 2 teams played. A lot of great players over there. We'll talk about that, and coaches that have a lot of indoor experience as well. So, when you get into games like that, they're going to pull out things you haven't seen all year. They're going to dig into the bag, get a little special gimmicky plays, gadget plays, whatever, see what they get out there. So, we'll talk about the game prep and the last week's game with the head coach, Brandon Negrone, when we come back. It is the Omaha Beef Coaches Show. That's why we bring the coach on here. It's the coach's show. It's not us. It's not our show. As much as I would think people just love to watch us, Apparently not the case. We'll come back. We'll bring the head coach on. Coming to you live from Let It Fly for the last time this season. Wrapping up Championship Edition when we come back. Welcome back to Let It Fly Sports Bar Championship Edition. Also means the last show, bittersweet. As we
12 of these this year.
Did we do that many?
12. Yeah, this is number 12.
Wow, they
Crazy.
get better and better. It's amazing.
They do.
We keep making them better. You wouldn't think it would be possible.
People are thinking this is ending just in time.
Something
That's for sure.
That's why we don't read viewer comments on there. But probably the best part of the show is we know the head coach coming up here. Coach,
What's up, guys?
hey, how'd your week go?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
right?
I liked it.
You know, as you've been around a long time, obviously, but as far as indoor games go, I mean, that was, we were talking earlier. I wish people could appreciate just how much, we know the level of league this is. It's not the NFL.
Right.
We talked about this during the broadcast. You tell me that game didn't mean stuff to those players out there.
I tell people all the time, you're right, it's not the NFL, but it's my NFL.
Right.
And that was incredible on both sides. And, huge shout out to Fred Shaw in Colorado. I mean, they brought it, I'm not discounting what the next game's going to be because it's going to mean more to us than anything, but that's the type of game you want to be in, and that's a great representation of the league. If you didn't like National Arena League football before, you didn't know National Arena League football before, watch that game.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to argue that Colorado's not one of the top 3 teams in the
They are. I mean, there's a reason they were in that game.
Yeah.
And I think Fred Shaw's done some pretty great things with that program in 2 years. Kudos to him. Kudos to Tony Thompson, their players. Andre Sale's legit. This is 2 years in a row that they've introduced kind of a new quarterback to the league. Jason Whitaker last year, Andre Sale this year.
And a few quarterbacks.
Yeah, Khalil Trotman,
And they all put up numbers.
and Stephen Newbold is
We said during the broadcast we didn't want to tamper. I guess I've done it now. But
Right.
if for whatever reason he doesn't get signed,
Stephen Newbold. Yeah, I don't know how that catch didn't make SportsCenter's top 10.
Yeah,
I don't know
what
how.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you slowed it down and you watch,
It's unbelievable.
what moves and what doesn't. I mean, that's full impact. And he gets right up.
You said something in the previous segment, Todd. You said the wall doesn't move.
It
Well,
did.
the wall didn't move for that, and knock on wood, pray to God, he got up from
75%
that.
of his body did not move.
Right.
The other 25%
Yeah.
did. That
Right.
usually doesn't turn out.
Not good, yes.
No, it's impressive.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Amazing game, amazing display from the league and our players.
if the league's not using that in a promo reel somewhere,
Agreed.
they're missing out. But,
Agreed.
Exactly.
let's talk about your team.
Yes, sir.
Good side, obviously. Let's talk about the offense. I mean, you can't complain too much on offense.
Yep.
You look at these numbers, and if you're not an indoor aficionado to begin with, I mean, you start pushing 300 yards of offense in a game. Remember, field's only 50 yards.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of offense. And what you always talk about, I think we went through the stats earlier, empty possessions. I mean,
0.
when it comes to batting average or whatever, I mean, that's how you grade it. It's an A.
And that's how you win a game. I mean, you have to look at that. Colorado kept coming back. They kept, they kept countering what we did. So how do you counter what they're doing? You don't give them any opportunities to take over the game. And I think the biggest, I'm going to talk about the last drive of the first half and the first drive of the second half. So the last drive of the first half, albeit 9 seconds, it was an empty possession for them, right? Now we're going into the second half, we're getting the ball. What I said to the guys at halftime, and I've said it all year, the first drive of the second half is arguably the most important drive of the game. It sets the tone for the rest of the second half. We came out, I think we scored on the second or third play. Now we've taken the lead, so we got an empty possession and we countered that with scoring. And I honestly, I'm always confident in my guys, but what they did there out the gate, I was never worried after that.
And that's going to be my question is, how do you feel? I mean, you played, time-wise, a lot of game from behind.
Yeah.
But I did feel like he was out of control.
That transition, because if you're going possession by possession, that transition in the second half made me feel good. And then I knew our defense had at least one more stop.
A little frustrated because you didn't know what was coming.
Right.
You get it.
And there was a couple of fourth down plays that were like, I can't curse on the show, but there was F-bombs thrown. But I just knew one would come, and then one came, and obviously we took control of the game. So
most overrated stat in indoor football: time of possession. Time of possession, coach. 35 plays, 71 points.
Yeah.
Talk about how this team's outlook on offense changes when you have Tommy back there with that ability, not only to quick strike with his arm, but also with his legs.
it hasn't. So it hasn't changed. The expectation is the same, right? So I don't care how much time is on the clock. I care about us utilizing the time that we have, right? So we have to score. I think Todd will speak to this because he's been in rooms that are not the show, and you've heard me enough too now, Jason. No empty possessions, right? So look, if we score in 30 seconds and that's what's meant to happen, then so be it. If we control the clock for 8 minutes, then that's great. I watch the broadcast, after the games, right? So I watch it.
Enjoy it?
So I do. So I heard questions about time management, and I respect that, and you're absolutely right. I don't
Stop
disagree.
it right there.
Okay.
Stop.
I don't.
But
I get the point. I do, and you're not wrong.
But I get also the mindset. I got offense.
I can put you away by scoring, right? So that's where my mind is at all times. Do I think we could do a better job of slowing down the game at times? Absolutely. We've got the running back to do it. Tobias Taylor's one of the best in the league. But when we can score, we're going to score.
Well then, thanks for watching the game.
Yes, sir.
And correct me if I was wrong, I don't think I was, but we talked about during the game. It was pretty obvious for what we're seeing. We weren't around enough. I mean, you have a veteran quarterback that's been very professional and appears to be incredibly engaged in the play calling and
Absolutely.
what's going on still, despite being on the bench. he may not show up on the stat page, but I mean, it's pretty apparent between him, Tommy, that offense they shared for years up at Sioux Falls as well, which is, you know, a big piece of the offense here. Talk about just what that's bringing to
So I'm so glad you brought that up, Todd, and we talked a little bit about it when we met earlier. Lorenzo Brown, what he did for this game is arguably, for my short coaching career, one of the most professional, just overall, just everything he did was right. Okay, it's a hard conversation to have with two quarterbacks that have both been successful, both been MVPs, to sit them down in a room together and say, I'm going one direction, right? That's a hard conversation to have. Nobody likes to have. No coach likes to have. They're competitors, right? So I had that conversation with both of them, and Lorenzo did everything I expected and beyond. What he was to me on the sideline, in the headset, his ability to identify coverages and tell me what he saw, but moreover, for the two of them to communicate, especially, you know, in between drives, this is what we saw, this is what, then the two of them coming together to me and saying, Coach, this is going to work, adjust this one.
Tell me how much contribution on the play calling, I mean,
As much as I needed, right? I look, this is, I want to win, right? This isn't about me saying I called the plays or, look, if these are the guys that are in the game, if they come to me and they say this is going to work, and they're confident in it, I'm going to roll with it. And we have backup plans if it doesn't work.
I can't even quantify how much experience, how many snaps, how many rings, how many games we've seen.
This would have been a good game. This would have been a good game to have any one of us mic'd up, because you would have seen football coaching and football, the mental part of the game at its peak performance.
Which was the most enjoyable part of this for me.
Yeah, we know that you're on the offensive side of things. Talk about the defense. They were able to convert some of those fourth downs, but was it more of a lack of execution for you guys, or is it just those guys making plays?
I think, look, Andre Sale's a good quarterback, right? People don't know the name if they didn't know it now. They didn't know it before, they know it now. And I expected Fred Shaw's team to come ready to play. Also, guys, you know this, we talked about this the last coach. It's very hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, right? So they had 2 full games of preparation. They've seen everything we could throw at them on both sides of the ball, even with bringing Tommy in. You know, football's football, right? So they're going to come prepared. I do think that my defense is very upset about the amount of yardage that we gave up, but also, guys, I heard you talk about this in a previous segment. I want a team to be one-dimensional and pass 45 times, right?
Sure.
They didn't run the ball. We took their running game completely out of it. And respect to Colorado and Coach Shaw, I believe in balance, right? We had 21 carries for 130 yards, only 14 passes. If we're running more than we're passing, I feel really good about the direction we're going. That means the passing is impactful, right? Mm-hmm. We're not just 45 passes a lot. And if you make a team one-dimensional, most of the time you're going to wind up on top.
Let's talk about a segment of the offense that sometimes doesn't get talked about enough, and that's the offensive line.
Yep.
We talked about Colorado's defensive line and how talented they were. Talk about the job that those guys did up front in the pass pro game and then also in the run game.
So, I mean, I think the numbers reflect it, right? So we had 308 yards of total offense, right? You know, Junebug, Josh Fields, Reggie Patrick, David Ross's ability to be both a blocker and a threat, you know, from the tight end position. I think last year, Todd, I think you actually said this on the program. I think we only gave up 2 sacks last year. I think this year we've given up, it's either 6 or 9. I'm not exactly sure what it is. But, you know, if you look at and this is, again, no slight on anybody, but, you know, we had 4 quarterbacks actually this year go through. You have Bryce Holiday, Josh Hollins, Lorenzo, and now Tommy. Mm-hmm. Lorenzo and Tommy are a little bit different. Lorenzo's, you know, he's older, right? He may take a sack that Tommy or Josh Hollins wouldn't take. But again, 11 sacks in 2 years, that's I mean, that's the stat, right? That's the stat. Yeah.
Let's shift the focus to championship a week from tonight. I know you've been watching film already. You know, probably lose a little sleep over because that was your one loss that I assume the whole team does. And we talked about the revenge tour, so It's a chance to right all the wrongs for you and your team this week and make it come full circle. But it's a very good team down there. It's a team with a lot of players with a lot of experience in the league. If you're familiar with these leagues, I mean, there are names on that team that you would recognize.
Yeah. I mean, it starts with coaching. Corey Mayfield comes from a coaching tree that I'm a part of with James Fuller. He's a good coach. Like you said, there's players on that roster that are well known, especially on the D-line. You know, we can start with J.D. Griggs. I've coached Metariah Fialo, and he's having a hell of a season. Quentin Peoples is known. He played with Tobias, I think, in college. I mean, these are not new guys. We got a lot of motivation on this game, right? I'm not making any excuses for losing a football game, but you know, I'm a different coach than when I got here in April. I had 6 hours worth of practice. I did not have some of the assets we have now, and that's beyond Tommy. Players are different now. Dev Conliff is different. Karel Kolmus is different. Tobias Taylor is different. Rockman is different. DeAnthony Steele is different. It's a different mindset, right? And so, look, I respect this game a lot, right? So I'm never going to come on a coach's show and guarantee anything. I'm never going to, but we're a different team. You take that message for what you want. We're a different football team.
That was a mission when you came here, right? That
Yes,
was
sir.
the reason you were brought here.
Yes, sir.
I think just even a casual observer would note that.
Yeah.
Right, they're seeing that you're playing very good ball right now. I mean, you don't get details of the game plan, but what do you need to do well, and what do you need to avoid? I guess
We need to keep Corey Robinson from being creative. He's a creator. He's mobile. He'll get out of the pocket and make plays. We need to contain his creative juices as much as we can. You know, they play a lot of man defense. They're confident in their DBs, and you know, kudos to them for that. We need to prove that our athletes are better than their athletes, and you know, J.D. Griggs is right up there with the Sam Hammonds of the world, and the Jay Sean Washingtons, and some of the other elite pass rushers in this league. We need to contain their pass rush, right? So I expect them to bring it. I mean, we've been trying to doubt Beaumont all season, and here they are in the championship, right? So I think the league, the whole they're an expansion team. They shouldn't be here. That's your typical response for a new team. They've defied all the new team odds, and they're hosting a championship. So we're not going to take them lightly by any means, and you know, that's, you know, in my opinion, the problem for them is we're not taking them lightly. So, you know, I expect it to be a great game because they're well coached and they've got really good athletes. But, you know, I believe in the guys that are sitting down in those booths down there a lot. So,
I think I already know the answer to this question, Coach, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Are you okay getting into a shootout with Beaumont? I mean, are you okay if the game script is similar to last week? Because I think that's what they are going to probably want to try and play that game. Are you good with that?
my boss has encouraged me to be humble, and I am humble, so I'm going to stay humble. But we were just in a shootout. We did pretty good. So that's my answer.
I knew. I already knew the answer to that question, but I thought I'd ask it anyway.
love the softball.
Yeah. Yeah.
One last question. We'll let you get on with
Yes,
it.
sir.
Just go ahead. We'll let you take a minute of personal reflection of where the season started for you, where you ended up. Just talk about that journey and what it means.
Thankfully, I already got emotional about this earlier today, so hopefully I won't again. But you know, I told you a few minutes ago that this is my NFL, guys, and you know, my wife was at the game this past Saturday. My family's made an obscene amount of sacrifices for me to pursue my passion, and you know, you're right, Todd. I was in a different environment, you know, a few months ago. I don't even know that I can properly articulate it without taking up too much time, but
I think I've always, no matter what position I've had or whatever we're talking, you know, I've done this up to a high level. I've always told everybody, doesn't matter where we're at, we can be professionals. Mm-hmm. We can, you know, do it professionally.
Yeah.
And the fact that you treat it that way, it means a lot to, it should mean a lot to this organization and to this league. And
My kids get to see me do what I love with no equivocation, with no obstacles that are beyond my control in my way. And I said it to you the first show I came. I said, if all I have to do is coach, I consider myself one of the better coaches in this league. I've been given the latitude to build a team in my image. I'm so proud of where the team has transitioned to from the day I got here till now. It's going to be really hard for Beaumont to take this one from us.
So we from tonight's National Arena Championship game. That's it, head coach. We'll be there. We'll be down there Monday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. Can't wait for it.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
We'll come right back. We're going to talk briefly with the head coach about the trick going down, or not the head coach, the head guy. About that, and then DJ K-Dub. Going to wrap it all up. That's the remaining agenda here. Yeah, last couple seconds of the season. Crazy. It's flown right by. Glad you could join us. We'll be right back. Coming to you live from Let It Fly.
Go Beef.
Here we go. We gotta be moving. We gotta be moving. We gotta be moving. Let's go. It's game time, fellas.
Welcome back, Let It Fly Sports Bar. It's Omaha Beef Coaches Show. It's the championship game edition. It wasn't on the schedule. We didn't know last week, but we should just put it on the schedule because, this is the 5th year in a row. Omaha Beef had a championship game, and the owner, Ricky Burrs, is joining us. And first off, congratulations. I mean, that's a big deal. I don't care what anybody says about it. When it goes into making that happen, and then obviously a lot of things have to work out, but congratulations, a lot of work paid off.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Todd. I appreciate it. And then also, I'll always jump back to this co-owner. I got to partner with Craig, as always.
He's welcome to come by.
Yeah, Craig makes a lot of things happen and stuff like that as well. But no, Todd, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of things going behind the scenes by a lot of people that make it go. And from John and Katie here to you and Jason, Kendall, coach, office staff, volunteers. I mean, all the way down to Marty and all of them doing the equipment and stuff. There's a lot of people that make this thing go.
Well, let's start with. We'll take the big picture. When you came here to where it is now. 6 years previous to the 6 years since, or 6-7 seasons ago, whatever. Remarkable turnaround. Just talk about what went into that, and I'm sure you're not planning on stopping after whatever happens this week.
No, we're not. And I say this, and you guys have pulled some quotes on me saying this and everything else. When this game, I'm going to talk about now where we're at, but just where we're going to go. And this game Monday. He's just saying that as well. It's Monday. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And if you don't like the odds, don't play the game. I will say that over and over because that is very, very real. But something that is very real as well. And I want to, hopefully John and Katie will kind of record this up and cue this. But if we are fortunate to win the game on this coming Monday, which, like you said, it'll be 4 out of 5 years. And Coach Mayfield and the entire organization down there, they're focused on what they're going to do themselves. You know, I have a strong appreciation for the people that have put in the work to get us to where we are. You know, James Curran went in our Hall of Fame just a couple of weeks ago, was the first coach that I hired. But winning championships from Coach Jones, appreciative of Coach Marvin Jones, appreciative of our second championship with Coach Kaiser, our third championship with Coach Tatum, and God willing, if we get a fourth one with Coach Negron, I can tell you right now that Coach Negron will be the first coach out of all of those that I've won. I will win multiple championships with. So it's not about where we are, but where we are going. And so, again, Coach Mayfield's going to lay it out on the line. It's going to be a heck of a game on Monday. But if we are fortunate enough for things to go our way, this will not be the first championship that Omaha wins with Coach Negron as the head coach.
Well,
that's where we're going.
Ask Coach about his contract extension had we known that, right?
Sign it right here, right?
Very well could have, you know. So
I won't ask you about 4 championships with 4 coaches because I don't want to be presumptuous, but we could go to the picture of 5 championship games with 4 coaches. I think this is a lot about the system as well and the culture surrounding the support and everything that goes into that.
absolutely, but you know, I mean, it's we have transformed Omaha into a place where people want to go, Todd, from the office staff to the coaching staff to the players and everything else. And I am so appreciative of all the work that our players do in the community, the things that they enable us to do that carries over to the business side. It's not good for any league to have a team be as consistently dominant as we are. Like the analogy I will use is we saw the Kansas City Chiefs this year. We're in Chiefs country, all right? And the Chiefs were going for a 3rd straight Super Bowl victory this year. Well, we had a watch party at one of our partners, you know, and there were a lot of Chief fans there. But I can tell you right now, all the other fans that were there rooting for Eagles, I don't know if there was a single Eagles fan that was there, but they were sick and tired of seeing the Chiefs win. So that's why they were rooting, because they want to see somebody else. It's not good for a league to have a team be as dominant as the Omaha Beef are. And I'm aware of that, I'm conscientious of that, but I'm telling you right now, I'll be damned if I'm going to let my foot off the gas. Everybody else just better up their game or step up to what it is that they're going to do, because we are who we are. And I can tell you, we are going to be better in so many ways next year than what we were this year. And the results will be getting us to the championship game to say that we're going to be even better on top of that next year. We will directly or indirectly force people to up their game and do things better, because as we say, the standard is the standard, and the standard in Omaha is to win championships or compete for championships, and we are not going to stop what we're doing.
The standard evolves, and what's really interesting, people that are really close to the team or really good observers, is how different all 5 of those years were. You know, that first one, you go in and you're setting the groundwork, right, with Marvin Jones. You go in, you know, you're doing a lot of things right, you got a good team. The championship, though, is kind of unexpected. You go down,
Absolutely.
Go off and upset.
No, I would agree. Yeah, I mean, it was unexpected, yes. But
next year, you go down there. Now you're kind of expecting it, but you drop. That's the last championship game you drop. Then after that, you know, a little more upgrades in some of the personnel and whatnot. You start expecting them, and then it starts rolling, right? And maybe even this year's a little different because you had to do a little reset too during the season. Just kind of talk about that evolution, how different they are, and where you're at now. It's all part of that growth.
Well, I think it's one of those things, Todd. It's a very fluid situation. And I mean, it'd take a while to really kind of break a lot of details down. I don't think we have enough time unless we start for the coaches show on that. But I mean, at the end of the day, and Todd, you as well, I will pick up the phone. We've had phone calls late at night talking about personnel, talking about football changes and everything else. And it just, I think collectively at the end of the day, when we have an organization with so many people that have a vested interest in what we do as a team, there's not a single person that we have that cares about it as an individual. You know what I mean? It's about what we do as a team. And so whenever you surround yourself with a lot of people, a lot of individuals that you trust that all have a collective goal, a collective objective of what's in the best interest of the organization, what's in the best interest of the team, that's a very powerful dynamic to compete against. And we have that dynamic here. And again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that dynamic will continue to grow. And again, it's like you said, it's incredibly impressive what it is that we've done. But I mean, we were working in the office last week. Like, we expect to be in playoff mode. We expect to be in conference championships and now ultimately to be playing for a league championship again for a 5th consecutive year.
One more follow-up, then I'll let Jason jump in because I'm hogging it, but I don't think people understand how easy it would be to regress. I mean, there were points, several, some more obvious than others, where you take steps backwards and, drop 1 game, drop 2 games, drop 3 games, you're not even in the playoffs in this league, right? It's that competitive a league. How many opportunities there were, hurdles that had to be cleared to get to where you're at?
I mean, again, I don't disagree with you, Todd. And again, that's just a true testament to the people within the organization. I mean, again, hats off to the office staff, hats off to the coaching staff, and, hats off to the players. I mean, those guys do an awful lot. They put their body, I mean, it's incredible the stuff that the players do in general, but I am so incredibly freaking proud of the guys that we have on our roster. Coach Negron talked about Lorenzo Brown. I mean, I've known Lorenzo for a number of years. Lorenzo is going to be in the Hall of Fame. He has won, I believe, 6 championships. I don't know how many MVPs and everything else. We were 7-1 with Lorenzo as a starter, and Coach Negron talked about he had to make a decision, and while players are competitive and everything else, Lorenzo did what's best for the team going forward. He wants to win and everything else. It's not just him, it's everything from the offensive line to the we have player upon player upon player that truly embraces what it is that we do. And we talk all the time. I mean, it is literally not only a family, but it is one unit that we're out there working collectively. And that's the kind of culture that we have here in Omaha. And I'm just telling you, it's only going to get better, as scary as that is.
Ricky, talk about where this team was when Coach came into the fold back on that second week of April. You go to Beaumont, you lose that game. Did you ever have any doubt about where this season was going to end for you guys, or did you know by bringing in Coach Negron that you were going to be able to develop the chemistry offensively that we've seen here come to fruition late in the season?
There's no such thing as a guarantee. I mean, there never is. I mean, if there was a guarantee, we're going to go out to the casino and we're going to play some wages and be really happy here very, very quickly. But I think, though, that there is some that comes down to a belief with yourself of what it is that you see, what's going on. And again, I don't mean to drag Todd into certain conversations and stuff, but I have a circle of people that I talk to about stuff on a consistent basis. Right. I say all the time that none of us is as smart as all of us. And I mean that none of us is as smart as all of us. And so I felt that I was going to make the decision that was going to put us in the best possible position to be where we are right now, and that is playing for our 5th straight championship. If I felt that we were in a position where we were going to do that, to where we were at the beginning of the season, that never would have happened, I guess you could say call it luck, call it several things or whatever. Maybe it's being able to make that. I mean, it wasn't an easy decision. I mean, I could have blown up in my face. And trust me, I was prepared for that dynamic, But at the end of the day, it was, as an organization, what I think is going to put us in the best position. And I put hats off to not only Coach Negron coming on in a very difficult situation, but hats off to the assistant coaches that embraced what was going on. They've all worked together. They're a cohesive unit. Hats off to the players, I mean, changes during the season, I don't know if they ever result in a team playing for a national championship. I don't know if it's happened before or not, but the players put trust in themselves, they put trust in one another, they put trust in us as an organization. We are where we are today because of a collective effort of all those people involved making that happen, and that was the basis of the decision of why we are now. So,
last question, then we'll let you go. How do fans watch the game in person or otherwise come Monday night?
Yeah, so the game is going to be advertised on YouTube. Again, it's a 7 o'clock kickoff on Monday. We'll be announcing a watch party taking place as well for all of our fans that show on up. Hopefully it's going to be a great attendance and everything else. It's going to be a hell of a football game, and I'm excited to get back here to Beaumont to play the team that we did. They're conference champions as well. It's going to be a damn good football team. I'm excited to see what happens, and hey, we got a 50-50 chance to win this thing again.
If you happen to be in the area or you're a Husker fan in the area, whatever, tickets are still available, correct?
Yes, tickets are still available. You guys can go online and stuff like that. They're on the 4 Doggett Arenas where they're at. Yes.
Monday night, National Arena League Championship game, 5th straight championship game for the Omaha Beef. They are looking for 4 championships in 5 seasons. Good luck. We'll see you down there on Monday night. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up with our good friend DJ K-Dub, the final segment of the year from Let It Fly. When we come back, it's the Omaha Beef Coaches Show. Welcome back, Let Fly Sports Bar. Final segment of the year in front of the championship game, 2025 National Arena League Championship game. Our good friend DJ K-Dub joining DJ T-Dub and J-Up over here. Wrapping it up, baby.
We need nicknames, man.
I just gave you one. What do you want?
Could be better than
We'll try. We have off season to figure it out.
Yeah, we got all off season.
exactly.
We'll come in hot with
Talk about a championship game. You could be there Monday night. You could be watching.
I will have to be watching.
You got to host a party.
I'll be coming back from Vegas. We had a trip already planned.
Okay. I'm going to Vegas the day after. So yeah. It's almost got in the wet.
But also, if you have your red tickets, go ahead and pull those out. I got the 2 winners. You can see the ladies downstairs. It'll be tickets 7569, 7569, and 7529, 7529. You know, for me, this is, of course, my second journey with the Omaha Beef, and I want to thank you guys for also allowing me to be a part of the show. And,
Absolutely. We let very few in here.
It's
it's an honor.
It's a select.
It's an honor, especially to fill in for someone who just left you hanging. You know, not once, but twice.
It happens.
But it's championship week, and if you look back at the beginning of the season, this is not where we were talking or thinking because we were so worried about the players coming together. But obviously, you see under Coach Negron, they've done what they've needed to do to put themselves where they are.
There was expectation before the season, obviously.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, you were actually down sideline. You were actually DJing.
Yeah.
Which is the DJ K-Dub. That made sense to me. You're down there. I'll tell you what, have you seen players balling out that hard in a game recently? I mean, on both sides. I can't say it enough, and I mean it totally respectfully. Oh, my God. Every play, they were just, second efforts, whatnot, running the walls, over walls. I mean, it's incredible.
There was a no give up for both teams, and I mean, obviously we had a couple hurdles happen on our side in our benefit, but when you get number 44 bailing down that for that touchdown, and he does a hurdle as well. We expect it out of a Tommy, we expect it out of a Tobias, but when you see 44 coming in, that flex tight end tackle, do what he did.
You have the memo, I see.
What
Tight end memo?
Hey, you call it what you want. I mean,
no, you don't call it what you want.
A Swiss Army knife is a Swiss Army knife.
That was corrected.
And that was the one thing that I have to give mad props to Coach. When he came to the team, he said that this was someone he wanted to bring along. And to see it come in fruition exactly how he presented it was not something you expect to just happen. So to see it, the words come to fruition in actions, it's just, because he never earned that with us yet, right? We're giving him the benefit of the doubt because he took the position, but we still have our cautions to go, Come on, man. You want to bring this guy to do what?
Yeah.
And he's proven it week after week.
I'm impressed by how many big bodies are on this team.
Yes.
You know, and it's guys that we use the cliche all the time, running downhill. These guys are coming at you. You're just, I mean, it's almost scary.
That shoulder is not gonna come at you lightly, and if you think Tommy is just gonna run out of bounds, you have another thing coming.
Yeah.
And so when the quarterback goes that way, what happens? Everybody behind those quarterbacks, because we of course saw Zoe do it earlier in the year where he was going all out, the team follows that leadership. And because those two have led the way that they have, everything else has fallen into place in the right, where it's team led. And it's all by effort.
I don't think there's any doubt they've proven what veteran leadership, especially at that position's done. And one left to play.
That's right.
All comes down to this. We have come to the end.
This is it.
This is it. Final coaches show. Be back at you next year, but one more game, big game. Obviously, we've said enough about it. Hopefully, you can check it out. Attend if you're down there. That'd be awesome. Whatever. But either way, get a chance to watch it. It should be a good one. It's important for Omaha. It's important for Beaumont, and we expect to see more of the same that we saw this week against the Colorado Spartans. So I want to thank everybody as we wrap things up for the last time. The staff here at Let It Fly, what a facility. You know, the air conditioning works, I tell you that too.
Top notch.
Absolutely. J&K, everything they do, they put all this together.
John and Katie, I
Yeah.
mean, what they do for us every week, we just kind of have to show up and.
Which I've never had before
Right,
doing
exactly.
this. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're not over here adjusting volume.
No, we're not doing that.
Incredible.
We're not doing that.
DJ KW stepping in where needed. The owner, Ricky Burtz, everything he lets us do. Head coach Brandon Groh and Mike Tatum. We'd be failed if we did not thank him as well.
That's right.
For what he did as well. So we appreciate everybody in this organization, everything everybody's done. One more to go. We know what the mission is, and we'll know a week from tonight. Kicking off 7 days right now. I guess it's not 24 hours, 24 times 7.
24 times 7. You do the math.
From now. So,
That's math.
for everybody here, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for letting us into your internet all these weeks. We will catch up with you on the other side. For No More Beef Coaches Show, everybody here, good night, everybody.